Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tom Healy. I'm the principal of Central Middle School and your host for today's wonderful event in honor of these wonderful educators. Thank you for being here today to honor and celebrate these amazing educators and the excellent work they do for our students each and every day. Speaking of students, please join me in a round of applause for the CMS Jazz Band and the introduction of Michael Swing. At this time, we ask that you please rise if able. As many of you know, during the past 2 weeks, we lost 2 members of the Greenwich Public Schools family who were also parents of CMS alumni. Mr. Joe Baskey taught social studies at Greenwich High School for the past 27 years, and Ms. Carol Konstandacki taught French at GHS for the past 11 years. Both were incredibly committed to educating the children of this town with loyal commitment. We ask that you now please join us in a moment of silent tribute to the memories of Mr. Joe Baskey and Ms. Carol Konstandacki. Thank you. If you would please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem, performed again by the CMS Jazz Ensemble. You may be seated. I would now like to introduce the chair of the Distinguished Teachers Award Committee, Judy Soto.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Judy Soto, as he said, chair of the Greenwich Teachers Award Committee. Thank you, Mr. Keeley and Central Middle School for hosting the awards ceremony this year. And thank you to Greenwich High School. Oh, it's not the high school band. It's the Central Jazz Ensemble for performing this afternoon. It's always a treat to hear you. I would like to welcome everyone here today, starting with our distinguished guests. Superintendent Dr. Tony Jones, Chairman of the Greenwich Board of Education, Ms. Karen Hirsch, and President of the Greenwich Education Association, Ms. Lillian Perron. Additional people in the audience we would like to recognize and thank for their support for the Distinguished Teachers Award Program. Please stand when you are mentioned. Board of Education members, Board of Selectmen, members of the Board of Estimate and Taxation, members of the Representative Town Meeting, and all the wonderful elected officials, GPS Community Partners, GPD, GFD, and GEMS, members of the Distinguished Teacher Awards Committee. We also received invaluable help from the ex officio member of our committee, Director of Communications for the Greenwich Public Schools, Jonathan Supranovich, and his assistant, Michael Antonaccio. And let us thank our sponsors, PTA Council and the PTAs from every Greenwich school, the Kiwanis Club, the Greenwich Organization of School Administrators, the Greenwich Educational Association, the Greenwich Alliance for Education. Thank you, sponsors, for allowing us to continue this wonderful tradition. Now let's take one moment to recognize all previous honorees of the Greenwich Distinguished Teacher Awards who are here today. Please stand. Before we begin our presentation of our distinguished teachers, I would like to give you some background information on this award. This is the 40th year of our committee, and the awards, which are based upon the criteria that describe characteristics of distinguished teachers. Our committee of 20 people is composed of representatives from the Board of Education, the PTA Council, Greenwich Organization of School Administrators, Greenwich Education Association, the Kiwanis Club, and the community at large. We are a standalone nonprofit not related to the Greenwich Public Schools. Our members independently review the nomination packets for every teacher nominated and complete a ballot which determines the 6 distinguished teachers. The details of our process can be found in your program. The 6 teachers you are going to meet today exceed the criteria used to identify a distinguished teacher. While they teach different age groups and different subjects, we are here today to celebrate what they all have in common: excellence. These teachers share their love of learning with their students and encourage them to achieve at a high level in relation to their abilities. They generate enthusiasm in their students and inspire them to take responsibility for themselves and for their learning. They foster growth and achievement in their students, in part because they themselves are still growing and achieving. They are studying, researching, and attending professional development opportunities to continually look for the best ways to teach their students. They collaborate with colleagues and share ideas and best practices. They have made many contributions to their school and the district beyond. To show our appreciation, each teacher today will receive certificates of recognition from Greenwich Public Schools and the town of Greenwich, and a check from the Distinguished Teachers Award Committee. I will now turn it over to our first speaker, Tom Healy, Principal of Central.
I have the pleasure of bringing up our Chair of the Board of Education, Ms. Karen Hirsch.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you all here today to recognize and celebrate something truly special, the heart and soul of our school district, our teachers, and more importantly, the 6 outstanding educators being honored today as Greenwich Public Schools 2025 Distinguished Teachers. As I often say, schools without supportive and innovative teachers are simply buildings with children in them. It's our educators who breathe life into every classroom, creating space where curiosity is sparked, knowledge is cultivated, and students are inspired to reach their fullest potential, both academically and personally. If you were to ask anyone in this room, even those of us who are decades removed from our own school days, they could still name a teacher that made a lasting impact. Why? Because great teachers leave indelible marks on the hearts and minds of their students. They are the ones who saw something in us before we saw it in ourselves, who challenged us, encouraged us, and believed in us. Since its founding 40 years ago, the Distinguished Teacher Awards Committee has proudly recognized over 200 exceptional educators within the Greenwich Public Schools, and tonight we add 6 more to that esteemed group. What makes this award especially meaningful is that these honorees were nominated by those who know them best, their students, parents, and fellow educators. They're celebrated not only for their subject mastery and innovative instruction, but for their collaboration, communication, and dedication to elevating student achievement and improving our schools. What makes these teachers so unforgettable? It's their passion, their ability to connect, and their unwavering commitment to learning. The very best educators never stop growing. They seek out new ideas, adapt to changing needs, and most importantly, model a love of learning that becomes contagious. And when students see teachers inspired by their own learning, like these fantastic educators here today, it ignites something powerful, an enduring curiosity that will last a lifetime. We know teaching has never been more demanding, and yet each year our educators rise to the challenge with heart, integrity, and resilience. And while we are here to recognize and celebrate this year's distinguished teachers, to my left, I also wanted to acknowledge all of our amazing educators for all that they do. We thank you and we see you. A sincere thank you to the members of the Distinguished Teachers Award Committee for their time and care in this important work, as well as to the PTAs, the Greenwich Organization of School Administrators, and the Greenwich Education Association, as well as the Kiwanis Club and Greenwich Alliance for their contributions, which make both tonight's celebration and the monetary awards for our honorees possible. Now, let's get to celebrating these 6 remarkable teachers who embody what it means to make a difference every single day. Thank you.
Next up is our superintendent, Dr. Tony Jones.
Good evening. First of all, let me just say what a delight it is to be here. I think if you're an educator, this is definitely one of our favorite events of the year. A room filled with educators and some of the best on the stage with us. I want to acknowledge, first of all, and say thank you for choosing education as your profession, because you've chosen a life of service that truly makes a difference. in not only children, but young people. And I also want to say thank you to your families that are out there. They know what it means to have a son, daughter, husband, wife, mother, father that's an educator. They work hard, don't they? And last but not least, I just want to say Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. What an honor it is to share the stage with you this evening. You are making the difference in the lives of children and young people, or you would not be sitting on this stage. So thank you for what you do. Let's honor you.
And now I'd like to introduce the president of the Greenwich Education Association, Ms. Lillian Perrone.
Thank you all for attending this great day. Any day we can honor teachers is an outstanding day in my book. Frances, Robin, Bethany, Julia, Ralph, and Dr. Vina. On behalf of our almost 900 distinguished teachers, you have been chosen to represent all of us here today. And thank you for your outstanding work. Congratulations on your exceptional work and unwavering dedication to our students in the field of education. Your commitment and innovative approaches in the classroom make a significant differences in the lives of so many, and your timeless efforts do not go unnoticed. Your contributions to shaping the future are truly valued by our students, our parents, and our entire Greenwich community. Congratulations to you all. Thank you.
And now for the main event. We will hear from 6 nominators, followed by our distinguished teachers. So first, I'd like to introduce Greenwich High School junior, Lila Mudabar, who nominated Frances Bittman for this award.
On the first day of freshman year, I walked right past Miss Bittman's classroom. Embarrassingly enough, it wasn't just once, but twice. I did a full wrap around Folsom before realizing the door I needed was one I'd already passed multiple times, completely unaware of what was waiting behind it. What was behind that door wasn't just desks and books and an endless amount of Shakespeare. It was a teacher who had completely changed the way I saw not only literature, but life and myself. Miss Bittman doesn't just teach English, she brings it to life. She has the incredible ability to dive into the heart of every text, not just to get us the grades that our parents wanted to see, but for our own growth. Truly, there's nothing like seeing your classmates from the other block in complete shambles because Miss Bittman handed out one of her infamous pop quizzes, and the Aspen grade alert had already made its way to their parents. She constantly challenged me to take the harder route, to think more deeply and write more honestly, because she knew that I could even before I did. Trust me, again, learned that one the hard way. She doesn't sugarcoat, and she certainly does not settle. Right now, I can only think about a plaque that Miss Bittman has on her desk saying, "I'm not so silently correcting your grammar," which has to be the most fitting phrase I have ever seen, because I also remember opening up my sophomore research paper to a whopping 42 grammar suggestions. Yeah. It's because of this personality and willingness to help that she turns students into thinkers, into writers, into people who care, really care, about what words can do. And so yes, since that first day, I've not only found her classroom, but I've also found her office too, where I now spend most of my free time either getting help for her or stealing candy from her desk. So now, I stand before you forever grateful that after 3 nervous schedule checks, a couple laps around Folsom, I finally walked through the right door. And I'm even more grateful to Ms. Bittman to making sure that door always stays open.
When I was a senior in college, my father had my aunt, a lifelong math teacher, warn me against pursuing the teaching profession. As I applied to graduate school, they both begged me not to enter into such a thankless job with pitiful salaries. 23 years later, I am so grateful that I ignored them. I want to thank my nominators, my amazing student Lila, my always supportive teaching partner Neil Shopik, and my brilliant English department head, Bridget Berry. Being at GHS with all three of these wonderful people makes my job easy. When I started high school, I wanted to be a lawyer. But then I met Mrs. Mattingly, my sophomore year English teacher, and my life's trajectory changed. She challenged her students in ways that forced us to learn in the most creative manner. I can still see myself running to class to be the first student to get all the questions correct on her pop quiz so that I would earn the extra bonus point. Performing scenes from Macbeth in full costume, reciting and analyzing Sylvia Plath's poem, Bitter Strawberries, as I served my classmates chocolate-covered strawberries, and debating whether love or hate ruled the world after reading A Tale of Two Cities. In 2003, on my first day of my first real job at a Title I public high school in New York City, I met my husband. We spent 11 years teaching in the city, sometimes even across the hall from one another. Then, after we had our 2 kids, we decided we wanted to ensure they had a great education, so we moved to Greenwich, and that has brought more opportunities for our family than I ever imagined. As a teacher, every day is different. Every day is challenging. While I often wake up tired, I never wake up unfulfilled. I dedicate this award to all the fabulous educators I have encountered over the past 45 years. Thank you for choosing to make this world a better and smarter place.
Next, we'll hear from North Miami School kindergarten teacher and 2016 Distinguished Teachers Award winner, Sarah Harris, who nominated Robin Chanel.
It's an absolute honor to introduce someone who truly embodies the spirit of education, community, and celebration, Robin Chanel. I first met Robin back in 2008 when my own children started at North Miami School, and even then her energy was magnetic. But it wasn't until I began teaching there myself that I truly understood her incredible impact. Robin is not just a teacher, she is the heartbeat of North Miamis. Her lessons are exciting, she sends students out the door beaming with pride, with certificates in their hand, and a palpable love for learning. Beyond the classroom, she breathes life into the entire school community, organising unforgettable Veterans Day celebrations, leading joyful holiday sing-alongs, orchestrating school assemblies that leave lasting memories, and now spearheading the 100th year celebrations of North Miami School. She even co-wrote the school song, a piece of tradition that current students and alumni alike sing with pride and passion. And Robin's connection with her students doesn't end when they leave North Miami. Far from it. Her former students return to intern with her, help during college breaks, and stay in touch for years. One of them, Nolan Diana, who's back there, he served as Robin's second nominator for this Distinguished Teacher Award, even experienced her unwavering presence and support while singing a solo at Westminster Abbey in London last summer, standing on the very spot where King Charles was crowned. Beyond North Miamis, Robin's work as Honor Choir co-director for the district has truly set her apart. She's always on the lookout for ways to broaden and enrich the musical experiences of all children. Her passion and innovation have left an undeniable mark across the district. When it was announced that Robin had been awarded this distinction, there was a swell of delight from colleagues, parents, and students, and it was overwhelming. Clear proof to the Distinguished Teacher Committee and to all of us that Robin Chanot is truly a distinguished teacher in every sense of the word.
Thank you, Dr. Jones, distinguished guests, and the Distinguished Teachers Committee for this incredible recognition. I am truly honored. I'm deeply grateful to my colleagues in the music department who share the belief that music is not just a subject, it's a lifelong journey. What we do goes far beyond what's written on the page. We're shaping experiences, building confidence, and opening hearts through music. To my North Miamis family, thank you for believing in the power of music and for creating a school community where students are seen, heard, and celebrated. Together, we've built memories that will last a lifetime, and music has been a meaningful part of that journey. Special thanks to my former administrators, Laura Newell and Angela Schmidt, and my current administrator, Jim Antonucci, for their steadfast support. Special thanks to my principal, Kathleen Ramirez. Your belief in me has never wavered, and I am so grateful to you. To my nominators, Sarah Harris and Nolan Diana, thank you. Sarah, I'm grateful that music has been our common thread and that you see what I see in our students, their passion, their potential, and the power of music in their lives. Nolan, it has been an honor to watch you grow into the amazing singer you are. You inspire me, and I cannot wait to see where you go from here. To my family, my husband, Mark, children, Luke, Michael, and Nicholas, thank you for your patience during late nights and those early morning rehearsals and those many recording sessions that I do in my office when you just wanted to watch TV. Thank you to my mom and my brother Bob. Your support means everything. I'll close with a guiding truth. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. Music involves us all. It connects us, teaches us, and shapes who we become, not just as musicians, but as people. And oh, what a joyful journey it has been. Thank you.
Now we will hear from Greenwich High School family member Melissa Devaney, who nominated Bethany Fiscaldo.
Good afternoon. Today I am so honored and excited to introduce and celebrate Greenwich High School's fabulous orchestra teacher, Bethany Fiscaldo, who truly embodies each and every one of the characteristics and criterion required for consideration as a distinguished teacher. Making music is so tremendously valuable, especially today. Kids really need and crave real, genuine connection, and music provides such an amazing opportunity for them to express themselves in a community setting. I can honestly think of no human better suited to the task of facilitating this kind of community than Bethany Fiscaldo, who has been a cellist since she was a child and for 18 years has wholeheartedly thrown herself and her talents into her work and her passion for music. She has inspired countless students as the conductor and creative mind behind the Greenwich High School Orchestra. You only have to listen back to one of the many concerts that have been professionally recorded there to understand firsthand the results of her skills and dedication. I credit Bethany with giving my own children the necessary fuel to continue their own musical educations. As most of us know, high school is no joke, calendars fill up, academics place higher demands on our kids, and too often music takes a backseat to athletics and other pursuits. But Bethany takes music extremely seriously, and she holds her students to a very high standard. She's incredibly encouraging as a teacher, and honestly, she just makes orchestra so much fun. And the kids rise to the occasion. I've seen it year after year. It's such a joy. Bethany is also an extremely accomplished musician in her own right. She's been a cellist with the Greenwich Symphony Orchestra for years, and she plays solo and chamber music all around the county. This is a true testament of her love of the craft, and Bethany richly deserves to be honored for inspiring so many young musicians in her role as Greenwich High School's orchestra director. I am so grateful to Bethany. So happy for this day.
Good afternoon, and thank you to the DTA committee for your time and dedication to this meaningful recognition, and to Dr. Jones and our community leaders for being here today. It's a true honor to stand alongside such inspiring educators. My heartfelt thanks to Melissa Devaney and Jennifer Wick for putting the time and effort into nominating me for this award and for affording me the opportunity to make music with their children, Connor, Catherine, Sarah, and Kate. Like so many others, I was inspired to become a teacher by all of the great educators that I had in my life. Bob Genualdi and Dorothy Straub, two names I would only later realize were legendary figures in the string music education world. Then Donna Tanana, Cheryl Lebrecht, and Debbie Grazer, each of whom shaped me into the musician and teacher I am today. But before any of them, there was my very first teacher, my mom, who was a band director. I still remember sitting in the front of her band room during school breaks, watching her teach, helping sort music, and witnessing the pride radiate from her as she stood on the podium. It was there, in that space, that I first realized, this is what I want to do. Thank you, Mom. And thank you to my dad, who still, every day at age 72, models the value of hard work. I'm also especially grateful to my retired teacher mentors, Patrick Taylor, Valerie Bird, and Carolyn Reifers, who I learned so much from early on in my career, and my current team, Luke Rosenberg, Barbara Friedman, Jason Polis, and Michael Bro. You guys are more than just colleagues, you are dear friends. Thank you also to my administrators, Ralph Mayo, Dana Tulata, and Jim Antonucci, for their steadfast support of the GHS music programs and helping me grow as an educator and also caring about me as a person. GHS is truly a special place. To all the students, past and present, who have walked through my doors and shared in the joy of making music with me, it has been a profound privilege to watch you grow, both as musicians and as young men and women. You have gifted me with countless memories and filled my life with beautiful music. To my family here today, thank you for your love, unwavering encouragement, and attendance at so many concerts. To my husband, my rock and partner in this wonderfully chaotic life, who supports me in all of my musical and professional endeavors, and my two children, Tori and Trip, I love you all endlessly. At the end of the day, music education isn't just about notes and rhythms. It's about teaching our students to recognize beauty, to cultivate love and compassion, to bring more good into the world, and ultimately, to live life more fully. I'm honored to be a part of my students' musical journeys, grateful every day for the opportunity to do this work, and humbled to receive this award today. Thank you.
So you may be aware we have pretty amazing music teachers in the district, as well as some amazing student musicians. So I'd like to bring us back to the Central Middle School Jazz Ensemble.
Next, I would like to introduce Glenville family member Christina Pavomba, who nominated Julia Godsell.
Julia Haas-Gotzel goes above and beyond her role as a math interventionist by building relationships and making connections with her students. Under Julia's guidance, students feel empowered, confident, and safe to take risks and learn. She truly understands the value and importance of human connection in a child's education. She not only created that relationship with our daughter, but with us as parents, and for that, we are forever thankful. Julia, you truly understand that every child deserves a champion teacher. Thank you for being ours. When I first went into Ms. Haas-Gotzel's office, her little math office, there was a sign that read, how to become a math person, or how to be a math person. Step 1, be a person. Step 2, do math. And immediately that made me feel like a math person. And I knew that too would help my daughter feel like a math person too. And I knew that she was in good hands after that. So thank you.
Please welcome my favorite math teacher, Ms. Hutz-Gotzel.
Thank you. It is such an honor to be recognized for doing a job that I love. Being an educator puts me in a special community, a community who gets up in the morning and lives their lives with hope as a driving force. A hope that with our guidance, our next generation might be a little wiser or more curious or caring than us. You see, I am a math teacher, and every day I teach a lot of math. And also, I teach my students to feel confident enough to keep trying when the problems get tough, and proud enough to communicate their ideas, and valued enough to know that their thinking is so important. I know that once my students believe in themselves, they will then be ready to learn. And Tina, who's also in the special community of elementary educators, I have read and reread the email where you sent me, where you said, from teacher to teacher, mom to mom, I appreciate you. Being a mother to my two beautiful boys and being a teacher, those are my two most important jobs. I will always cherish you, Tina and Lily, for seeing me, for honoring me, and I want you to know that I always will honor you as well. Sorry, I'm a crier. I find so much joy in watching Lily walk past my classroom every day with a beautiful growing confidence in herself. Thank you so much to the Distinguished Teachers Award Committee for taking the time to honor teachers. Special thanks to my second nominators, my AP Cara Vitolo, my dear Beth Cotter. You are my colleagues, my trusted friends. To my amazing family, my cheering squad over here. My amazing friends, my colleagues, you all keep me going. To all distinguished guests, to teachers, administrators, para-educators everywhere, custodians, all people who dedicate their lives every day and work hard for our children, here and everywhere. I love this learning community. May we all always be engaged in the reciprocal nature of teaching and never stop learning and growing. Thank you.
Next, we will hear from Western Middle School Principal Suzanne Coyne, who will talk about Ralph Marmer.
Lily's going to be a really hard act to follow. I'm here tonight to speak on behalf of Gaspar Lipari, who is a teacher at Western who nominated Ralph for this award. He's not able to be here because of an injury. He's really upset about it, so these are his words. I had the privilege of nominating an extraordinary man named Ralph Marmer, affectionately known to his students as Marms. Ralph isn't the type of teacher who demands attention or seeks the spotlight. Instead, he quietly ignites passion, inspires dreams, and leaves an indelible mark on every soul fortunate enough to cross his path. And he does it with humility. I met Ralph 16 years ago when I sat on the interview committee at Western Middle School. The years since have been a true blessing for Western and for all the students who have entered Mr. Marmer's classroom. A classroom that is often a whirlwind of creativity and imagination, much like a scene from Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. Whether he's devising fresh ways to teach or rewarding his students for a job well done, his lessons aren't just lessons. They're adventures that spark curiosity and make kids fall in love with learning. I've always considered myself a bit of a nerd, but I didn't realize to what degree until Ralph introduced me to New York Comic Con. There we embarked on epic journeys through a kaleidoscope of superheroes, comic book artists, and fans in elaborate costumes. We even met our hero, Stan Lee, yes, the Stan Lee, along with other celebrities, authors, and icons from our favorite decades of the 80s and 90s. What this experience revealed about Ralph is that everything he does is genuine and meaningful. He's a kid at heart, perhaps that shy kid himself, and his job is more than a job to him. It's about giving kids the chance to be more, to do more, and to see the world with a sense of wonder and possibility. What truly sets Ralph apart is his enormous heart. Through his community service club, he has transformed students into mini philanthropists, raising thousands for St. Jude's and the Make-A-Wish Foundation to fulfill dreams for children battling terminal illnesses. But it's not just about the money they raise, it's about the lessons. Ralph teaches his students to embrace gratitude, cherish every moment, and make a difference. It's not taking what we have for granted. These kids leave his club and his classroom not just with a sense of accomplishment, but with a passion to change the world. There's something truly special about Ralph that inspires you to be a better person. Ralph embodies kindness. He has an uncanny ability to spot the quiet kid hiding in the corner of the classroom, the one who thinks they're invisible, and make them feel seen. With a joke, a kind word, or a moment of genuine listening, he draws them out, building their confidence and showing them they matter. His empathy extends beyond students. He's the colleague who remembers your birthday and checks in on you when you're having a rough day. Ralph may well have the biggest heart of anyone I know. Ralph isn't just a teacher, he's a mentor, a cheerleader, and a friend. He shapes not only minds, but souls, teaching students and colleagues alike what it means to live with passion, empathy, and a touch of nerdy flair. Greenwich Public Schools hit the jackpot with him. Tonight we celebrate a man who makes the world brighter, one student, one lesson, one corny joke at a time. Here's to you, Ralph. I'm sorry I couldn't be there to celebrate with you.
Thank you to the members of the Distinguished Teacher Committee, Dr. Jones, and all my colleagues at Western. I also want to thank my wife Judy and my children Hannah and Alex for their unwavering love and support. It's truly an honor to be recognized as a 2025 Distinguished Teacher. When I was thinking about what to say, I started reflecting on how long I've been teaching. I have been teaching 27 years, and I'll be 54 in 3 days. So I did the math, even though it's not my subject area, and I realized I have spent half my life in education. Fortunately, the last 17 of those years have been right here in the Greenwich Public School System, where teachers are recognized and appreciated in so many meaningful ways. I feel especially lucky to be at Western Middle School, where 17 years ago I met my many amazing teachers, including Gaspar and Valerie Bowling. They helped me, they helped me get my start here, and this year Gaspar was kind enough to nominate me for this award. I also want to thank Cadence Amen for writing the secondary letter. Her kind words brought tears to my eyes. Western is also where I've had the privilege of working with Suzanne. She supported me early on through the co-teaching model and has continued to encourage me throughout her journey from assistant principal to principal. Suzanne has always pushed me to try new things in the classroom, and she even supported my Make-A-Wish Club by helping us organize a trip to Make-A-Wish because she understands what an incredible experience it can be for our students. I've always tried to emulate the teachers who helped me discover my love for learning. Those who gave me a second chance, sometimes a third or fourth. Those who used humor, and those who challenged me to be the best I could be. I consider myself incredibly lucky to still be working alongside educators at Western Middle School who bring the same passion and dedication to their teaching every day. They inspired me to make me want to keep teaching for another 27 years. Thank you.
And finally, Greenwich High School family member Mabel Alastra, who nominated Dr. R. Good afternoon, Dr. Jones, members of the Board of Education, everyone here. I have a very long name, Mabel Arteaga Balestra. Like Dr. Ramachandran. That's right. We have the longest names here. I feel the need to go a little bit off script here. As I was listening to everyone, I was reflecting on our family's journey with the Greenwich Public Schools. It started in 2013. And for those of you that may not know, my son, Pierluca, he's partially sighted. So he has vision in one eye that's monocular and legally blind. So in layman's terms, this means access to education is very, very difficult, especially in science. Now, through the years, what I wanted to highlight is that we've had so many wonderful teachers. And in reflecting on Dr. R, as she's so affectionately known, she's kind of the culmination of all the attributes and qualities that have come before her and after her. Science, chemistry, which is where we met Dr. R in honors chemistry, was especially difficult. It was Pierluca's sophomore year. This is when things were starting to open up after COVID, second year at the high school. And even before the year started, Dr. R, with the rest of the team, was trying to figure out, how do we teach this kid chemistry? Science is taught for those that are sighted. It's just the reality. Now, Dr. R didn't see this as something that was insurpassable, insurmountable. She never stopped one moment. She worked tireless hours with the team of folks that numbered way more than a dozen to support my son in the schools and let him succeed. And what Dr. R did was she would turn to Pierluca and she would say, how can we learn this together? You tell me. And she would take a curriculum that was meant for sighted and she would turn it into something that someone who couldn't see could learn. So I think that it is so serendipitous that our paths crossed for many reasons. But first, because Dr. R showed us that it is possible for a student with blindness who is so intelligent and passionate about science to learn. But more importantly, for me, it's a means to highlight what every student that crosses Dr. R's path meets. They meet a passionate, dedicated, unstoppable woman who will meet them where they are and not stop until she is certain they've found a way forward. I can't tell you how many people have stopped me in Whole Foods, students of Dr. R's, in the YMCA. They'll say, hey, aren't you Pierluca's mom? And they'll say, wow, we love having him in our class with Dr. R because we all learn better. So she takes something that is so difficult, because making education accessible for my son is just difficult. And she gave it as a gift to everyone. So it is with great honor that I will introduce you to Dr. R.
Mrs. Balestra, thank you so much for your kind words. You've been a true role model in the way you've supported your so talented son, Pierluca. And it's heartwarming to see that your family is now reaping the rewards of that dedication. I'm thrilled he is heading to college with such excitement, and I wish him every success. Thank you to the Distinguished Teacher Committee for this honor. I'm also grateful to Mr. Hoyt, our science program administrator. Actually, Mr. Hoyt also was Pierluca's biology teacher. Ms. Christina Shaw, Cantor House Master, and my colleague and former parent, Ms. Ellen Lewis, for their encouragement and support. Good afternoon, Dr. Jones, members of the Board of Education, esteemed guests, my amazing colleagues, I see you right there, and fellow honorees. I extend my deepest gratitude to God, who has always guided and strengthened me. To my family, right here, my incredible husband Rama, who's always there for me, my supportive parents, especially my mom for all her sacrifices, my brother Vijay, and our wonderful children, Ashish, Ami, and Shravya, who motivate me to do better each day, and thank you for shaping my journey and standing by me unconditionally. 34 years ago, my husband and I arrived in this country as students with one suitcase, one-way ticket, and enough money for just a couple of months. We left behind everything familiar for the pursuit of higher education. Uncertain but hopeful. In India, where I was raised, education is a priority. I began teaching at the age of 10 and continued throughout high school as well as during my master's and doctoral studies. Over the years, I've worn many hats: chemist, marketeer, advertising manager, computer scientist, and entrepreneur. But I've always returned to teaching. It's where my heart lies. Teaching is not just a profession for me, it's a calling. Working with my student, Perluka, wasn't just about chemistry, like Mabel just said. It was fostering growth, building understanding, and adapting to challenges together. His curiosity and commitment were inspiring. We had to navigate a curriculum built, like Mabel said, for sighted students. So we faced a very steep learning curve. But Perluka and I, we did it together with a whole team of wonderful educators. So thank you so much. That experience made me a more empathetic, flexible educator and reminded me of the power of individualized support. Having worked in both corporate and academia, I can say that education isn't just rewarding, it is transformative. We have the power to inspire and mentor the future leaders and scientists and artists of this world. This award is a humbling recognition of that journey, and I share it with everyone who supported me, and especially with my students who inspire me every day. Thank you to my wonderful friends also who are here today, and thank you for everything.
Please join me in one more round of applause for our amazing staff. That concludes our ceremony for today. There is a nice reception out in the foyer. We would love to have you join us. If the awardees and their nominators would just stay for a few more pictures, we'd appreciate it. And with that, on our way out, CMS Jazz Band, one more time, thank you so much.